This is things you might not have heard. I happen to be Jay Cleveland Payne, and on this docket for the day, as typical for Thursday, we have 8 stories in the queue ready for you to get down with it. Actually, you already got down with them already previously because you actually vetted these stories and we picked them from stories you said were really good to talk about. They cover information, politics, current events, and pop culture news. And while it seems like it's all DT all the time, because it kind of is, we have a lot of Donald Trump or Donald Trump related stories. He's only 3 days in and he's all over the place, all over the place. Some Elon Musk, which is actually a Donald Trump story, and we're talking Baseball Hall of Fame and Ichiro Suzuki and some stories of amazement that this one guy has been able to do, just kind of turning over the landscape of baseball. First Japanese player in the Hall of Fame, and we'll get to him at the end of the set. So we get through all the vetted processing, all how we get the stories. We'll talk about that as we do all the stories, wrapping up with Ichiro, of course, today, and how you pick the stories that we're talking about right now. But right now, 2 things to get you into the mood, if you will. Our Conversation Project website is this. It's theconversationproject.com. Find out more about us, the more the details about us. So it's less of me yakking about it, more of you learning about it there. And you can email me with your comments, concerns, questions, and all that stuff at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. If I've not said so yet, which I don't think I said it this morning, today happens to be Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. We're happy to have you with us here. No particular order as the stories are laid out. We'll explain the layout and the vetting process at the end of the 8 headlines we'll produce for you today. But headline number 1, and it's basically all about him. And it's an odd thing because we went through 4 years with Donald Trump before. We were doing this back, or something similar to this back when Donald Trump was in. And it just seems like, it's all Donald Trump all the time. All the news is followed by him. It was like that even when he wasn't in office, when he was doing stuff. But now that he's actually in charge, everything, the world literally revolves around him and everything stops on him, including his very first interview on television as the president, as POTUS 47, which he gave to Sean Hannity last night, I guess. We aired it last night, and he talked about solving U.S. issues for basically now. Now, in the first interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity, since turned in the White House, Donald Trump gave some pressing issues, his thoughts and process on what the nation is facing. The national challenges, things are all solvable. I quote from him: everything is solvable. Everything is, there's a solution to everything, given enough time, enough effort, and resources. So essentially, he's saying that anything in front of him he sees as a problem, he's going to fix it. He's going to make sure there's enough people, enough resources, enough time to work on it to make sure they're there. Any problem you give to him, not quite magic, but would work, he's going to take care of it. He also is praising the Republicans in leadership right now and the unity that the party has. He has praised Speaker Mike Johnson for unifying all Republicans in Congress, at least on the Congress side. We'll see what happens on the House, on the Senate side, I guess, and highlighted the importance of cohesive leadership in tackling national issues. Essentially, everyone is falling in line the way Trump wants them to, mostly everyone, and that's how things will work. He also talked about FEMA, criticizing FEMA's performance in the past, and said he's going to do better to enhance the efficiency of their responses to disasters. Right now, they're dealing with active fires. A new fire that broke out yesterday in California, still dealing with hurricanes and fallout from that in North Carolina and Florida, and plenty of other things that have happened throughout the nation throughout the last couple of months that are serious issues that FEMA has responded to at whatever you want to say. I will say, what personally, not the best responses in this year. A lot of things have been squirrely. A lot of that happens to be around Donald Trump and his election, believe it or not, but it is there. Of course, the wildfires get extra love, extra attention, extra hate because Donald Trump has extra love, extra attention, extra hate for Gavin Newsom and running things there. Also not a fan of Karen Bass. And the big deal, of course, the immigration policies. The fact that Trump is going to fix them. He says that what we have right now is either stupid or the country hates them. So he's going to fix it. So get rid of all the policies with immigration, all the illegals, all the bad folks will be gone. And said things like all the nations who are just opening up jails and sending people across the border, which is terrible and not very smart and just not happening. Of course, TikTok, he's going to fix it. And the big question, as always, the big question was immigration. The big question that came out after he started signing off all these executive orders were January 6 pardons. He's defending the decision to do it, saying these people were treated so terribly, so badly, so horribly, while Americans as a nation in polls, pretty much all of them are saying, yeah, this was the wrong move. These folks are in camera beating up cops and we let them go. In fact, many folks that are actually in charge of things like law and order, like judges and stuff, are writing decisions and op-eds that basically said, we have this person who identified himself as this person, and he said he did this. He said he beat people up. He said he was on the grounds. He said he defamed the title and defaced the place, whatever. But I gotta let him go. That's not how justice works. That's not how justice works. It's not how anything this stuff works. But we're back to Donald Trump and more to justice in Donald Trump's world. We'll have a lot of talk on that one. If you don't quite get the tone I'm talking about, not a big fan of Mr. Trump in general, and of course, as a president, and you can send your hate that way to me as well. But we will give you the details of things he does. We'll be as fair and balanced with what's going on. And if he does something great, we're going to give him props for it. But in general, bad man. Bad man. What shows he's a bad man? Story number 2 that we have today. Trump pardons Silk Road creator Ross Ulbricht in controversial decision. Controversial? Very much. A full and unconditional pardon to Ross Ulbricht, founder of the dark web marketplace Silk Road. Ulbricht had been serving 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole since 2015 for charges including drug trafficking, money laundering, and computer hacking. The operator of the pseudonym Dead Pirate Roberts launched Silk Road in 2011, a platform facilitated anonymous transactions for legal goods and services, primarily using Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, because it's there, it's real, but you can't really track where the money is because it's in the ether. He was arrested in 2013, leading to a shutdown of Silk Road, and Trump announced that he's pardoning him on his Truth Social platform, saying that he was informed Ulbricht's mother of the decision, saying, "Mama, your son's coming home." He criticized the prosecutors involved in the convictions, described them as scum, labeled them at the sentence as ridiculous, move filled with campaign promises made to libertarian movement, which had advocated for Ulbricht's release, viewing all prosecution as an example of government overreach. A guy that sets up a marketplace for illicit things, bad things, got arrested. And Trump let him go because it's not fair. Another Trump story, which is technically an Elon story, but really a Trump story, as he announced, or days ago, he announced with 3 big tech groups a $500 million, billion-dollar AI project that they're going to put together to help us get caught up with China, basically help us get ahead of the game of AI, in which Elon Musk just basically peed on and said, nope, they ain't got the money. They can't pull this off. They're no good. Now, Elon Musk was maybe in the doghouse before because on Inauguration Day, he did the German salute, the victory salute, the Roman salute, the salute that we're not going to say what the word is because we're not going there today. And then the next day when Donald Trump, or actually the next day when Donald Trump came out with an announcement of these other tech billionaires, these money guys who are going to do this big thing, Elon Musk poo-pooed it pretty seriously. The Stargate project, which is going to bring a big AI infrastructure to the United States, funded by SoftBank and continue with work from Oracle and from OpenAI, in which Elon Musk is like, yeah, they can't pay for this. The initial cost is $100 billion in the kitty, and it's going to basically go up to $500 billion over time. So it'll basically be up to $500 billion, probably more at some point in time. But Trump says, or Musk says, they ain't got the money. So the question right now is pretty much, how long is this love affair with Musk and Trump going to happen? Which people are like, eventually it's going to break up. Trump's going to not like something that Elon does that gets him all the attention. The salute thing, one thing that may have been an issue. But now that he's publicly announcing things he's doing, although he's been doing that already, almost got the government shut down for it, should be a big deal. I say it should be a big deal. Is it? I don't know what anything means anymore. The Stargate project is going to invest up to $500 million in AI infrastructure, and it'll be up and running in about 2029 or so, with initial $100 billion in the kitty going up to that one. Many other leaders across the spectrum are ready for this thing to happen. Big time folks are ready to partner up once they get this thing off the ground. Musk's skepticism, which is a lot to deal with. A, he has his own AI projects, and B, him and Sam Altman just don't get along, period, is going to be a big deal, or maybe breaker of the deals going forward. We've gone 3 days without Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. So let's fix that. Justin Baldoni's lawyer says new footage refutes Blake Lively's claims. In ongoing legal battle dispute between the two, Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, has released behind-the-scenes footage from the set of It Ends With Us. Friedman asserts that this video disproves that Lively's allegations of on-set sexual harassment, showcasing professional interactions between the co-stars. Basically, while the cameras are rolling and behind-the-scenes stuff, before they shut them off, they're being cordial. They're being nice. Blake Lively's not just throwing her hands up and looking frustrated, and Baldoni is, not exactly doing this sexual harassment stuff while the cameras are rolling. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? While the cameras were rolling, while people were watching, that while things were being seen in public, that Baldoni was acting pretty professionally and Lively was not, acting out because things were going crazy. Did I say those words out loud? I think I said those words out loud. I'm pretty sure I said those words out loud. Baldoni is countersuing Lively's $250 million lawsuit against him for sexual harassment and emotional distress. The countersuit also adds Ryan Reynolds, basically saying that the two of them and a publicist worked to get him, that's Baldoni, dropped from his representation, the same representation by Reynolds and Lively, and back and forth. Also, $250 million libel suit against the New York Times for basically the coverage itself. I don't want to say bad people all around. This is not exactly the other trial with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but I don't know these people. I know Ryan Reynolds from commercials and movies, and him seemed like a great guy, just hanging out with Hugh Jackman. But I don't know what the real deal is with these people and why they're so angry at each other and trying to spend each other's money in these ways. But it's engaging. You guys love it, so it's here. I'm going to take a quick pause from the stories, if you will. 4 stories down, 4 more to go for this Thursday. But remind you right now, this is the part where we need your help. If you enjoy the news you're getting, if you enjoy getting this sort of entertaining news and sort of informative news, and maybe a little bit of me being entertaining and informative, we need you to help us grow this small community. A couple clicks is all it takes. Start with the like button wherever you're watching this. This particular thing here is on X, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. Click the like or click the emoji of your choice to show that you enjoy it. That will help the algorithm see that this is something enjoyable, and they'll share it with more people. And it's up to them to kind of see what's going on, and up to me to keep their attention, if you will. If you know folks that are going to enjoy what's happening, then go ahead and share it directly with them. Hit the share button and show them what it is that I'm doing, what it is that they may be missing. This type of news, these stories, this humor, if you will, going forward. And if you're not getting this directly into your feed, if it came up onto a sharing of by the algorithm or someone shared it with you, consider subscribing with us so you keep up with us every single day. We produce this show every single weekday, 5 days a week, for you with stories of the past day or the past weekend for Monday that are conversational, that you deem them to be. We'll explain that literally 4 stories from now. How do we get those stories in our queue? But we ask you to like, share, and subscribe. I know what stories, I know what issues, I know what shows are doing better if you like them, if you likes them. The algorithm knows what stories to share to other folks so we can grow. And we will grow. We'll do what we can here. And if you're on YouTube, just click the join for membership, and that's basically the same thing as subscribing, and you can get in on that action as well. Let's go to a sad story. The first one noted of the new year, the new 2025, not so much a new school year. A tragic Nashville shooting, it leaves 1 person dead and another one injured. In fact, there's 2 people dead because both the shooter who shot himself in suicide motion and 1 targeted student apparently at this high school, Antioch High School in Nashville, Tennessee. 17-year-old student Solomon Henderson opened fire in a school cafeteria, shooting fatally 16-year-old Jocelyn Cora Escalante. He then turned himself in himself, and his death is there. One of the students injured in the issue. A gunshot wound treated at hospital. A 3rd student suffers a facial injury in the melee. Incident left the community in shock and reignited discussion on gun control and school safety measures, with authorities investigating Henderson's online activities to determine a possible motive. Now, because of all the other things that are going on that are majorly important, it's kind of hard to convene on one school and do the whole school thing we do right now. So that's not going to happen. There's wildfires that are really raging in the West. There is the turmoil and the sifting through what's happening in DC with the political stuff with Donald Trump. And there's every other thing that's in the way as well. So this will not get the attention that it has gotten before, which may be a good thing because we're not overly exploiting the neighborhood, the town, the school, the kids here. So that's a good thing, but it is something that will bring up a discussion for the moment till something else will take our attention away. What's taking my attention is CNN. Now we have the teaser story coming up, which goes on to something that may happen today. If it happens, oh, I know we're talking about it. But right now, what did happen a few days before the actual inauguration, the boss of CNN warned his journalists, about 100 of them, to hold back on the outrage for Trump during the inauguration. This was a meeting with over 100 journalists and producers, including Jake Tapper, Anderson Cooper, the big names, asking them, basically telling them to refrain from expressing personal outrage or biases during the coverage of President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. In a virtual editorial meeting, because they're spread over the place, Thompson emphasized focusing on Trump's upcoming term with an open mind, marking a departure from CNN's previously confrontational approach, which was under CEO Jeff Zucker. The guidance aligns with Warner Brothers Discovery's adjectives for CNN to adopt a more neutral tone in political reporting, and it basically happened. If you watch CNN coverage, and I'm not saying you did because I'm thinking I'm the person watching CNN right now, it was muted. It was fairish. It was not quite so over the top in complaining. Yes, they did state things that were obvious, like January 6th happened and Trump's still the president, overturning election, things like that. So those were happening. But essentially, coming out of some of the comments that were said and given from the Carter funeral and going into inauguration, where basically it was all day, all Trump, and right now, all 4 years, all Trump, they wanted some kinder, gentler words towards Trump and the administration. I think we got them. It may not help. We'll talk about that when we get to the teaser story in a few. Let's go to story number 7, which is a big story for yesterday. So maybe we've missed a window, but because we're yesterday's news right now, Rupert Murdoch's UK tabloids apologized to Prince Harry in legal settlement. This is a big deal. The UK tabloid publisher, Rupert Murdoch, and his news group newspapers have issued a formal apology to Prince Harry for unlawfully intruding on his and his late mother's, Princess Diana's, private lives. The admission comes as part of a legal settlement in which the companies acknowledged the private investigators wrongfully worked with the Sun, engaged in phone hacking, surveillance, and misuse of private information between the years of 1996 and 2011. Notice me, this marks the first time the Sun has actually apologized for anything except any wrongdoing, paying for it and or apologizing there. Although they settled some things before with NDAs. In this case, they're saying we're sorry and we're handing over money. Part of the settlement, the group has agreed to pay substantial damages to Prince Harry, about $12 million, covering both legal costs and damages. This resolution concludes Harry's legal battle against the publisher, so they're done, and also may mean some of the money problems that we have heard rumors of the Sussex may be partially settled. His lawyer described the settlement as a momentous victory, some word like that, emphasizing the importance of holding the press accountable for unlawful practices. So for over many years, places like the Daily Mirror and the Daily Mail published things on the royal family, and they got their dirt literally from hacking their phones, listening to voicemails, checking out texts going forward. It's something that was a really big thing 10 years ago when they were really talking about it big time. Now, I'm sure they're still doing it. I'm sure they're still making it happen, still surveilling in bad ways. But this is one that's been pursued by Prince Harry for 10 years prior, after the fact, and the time that was there. And we actually get an apology from Rupert Murdoch, or technically from his newspaper, of what happened. Finally, some great news. Not good news, great news. Ichiro Suzuki, who goes into the Hall of Fame for the 2025 class, missed unanimous call by 1 vote. And this is something that's coordinated, if you will. Essentially, no one gets in unanimously, so someone always votes against them. But this is one where everyone basically agreed that Ichiro Suzuki, along with CC Sabathia and Billy Wagner, are folks to be on in this Hall of Fame, for the Baseball Writers Hall of Fame, going in for 2025. Ichiro is in his first year of eligibility, received 393 out of 394, which is 99.7%. Missed by 1 vote, of course. That's basically what happens. CC Sabathia, also first ballot, 86.8%. Billy Wagner is on his 10th and final year, his last shot in the regular voting. He gets 82.5%. So that happened there. Also joining are Dick Allen and Dave Barker. The induction ceremony will happen on the 27th of July this year in Cooperstown. Now, all day yesterday, because this thing basically happened 2 days prior. I heard various stories from various reporters of all ilk. I listen to a lot of political stuff, so political reporters were talking about their baseball genre and how Ichiro was just such a great guy. Back in the day when he started playing, he came from Japan after playing in Japan so long, coming to the States. People were wondering, maybe we should count his Japanese numbers so he gets Hall of Fame numbers. And in the 11 seasons, I believe he played in the States, he didn't need it because his numbers were awesome. He won all the awards, Rookie of the Year, MVP, Golden Gloves, bats, things like that, doing it all and having one of the best demeanors forward. And he was known for his great command of English, at least his understanding, but he always spoke with an interpreter so that he wouldn't necessarily mess the words up. He could understand it, but didn't want to say the wrong things. And from that, between his interpreter and him, he was apparently one of the funniest, dry humor, funniest guys on the field. He said Ken Griffey Jr. was his hero, so he played for the team that he played for. They played maybe 1 or 2 seasons together as Griffey was transitioning out. But great news for Suzuki, or Ichiro, as he's basically known in Japan, because first names, all that good stuff. Great news for him and all the inductees for this year's Hall of Fame. Let's go to the teaser story. This is a story that's going to be posted inside of our feeds that you can engage in, just like the rest of the stories we do all day long, all day, all night, every 50 minutes or so. We post news articles to Facebook and x.com/This Is Conversation Project, and facebook.com/th. No, it's that backwards. x.com/th_conversation. Don't know what I'm doing. And facebook.com/This Is Conversation Project. Also on Threads. You can find that link in the description if you want to go there, but we can't really count those numbers because they don't give us good stats yet. Also on Blue Sky, but the aggregator that we use to post things ahead of time does not connect to Blue Sky yet. They do have a Blue Sky account. They just don't connect Blue Sky for sending stuff, which is odd. I'm digressing. The story that we're teasing today goes back to CNN. As rumor has it that CNN will lay off hundreds of employees as a post-inauguration transformation begins. Essentially, they're going to do their new look right now. Had to wait to get past the inauguration, get all the work done because it was a big deal. And now they're going to do the real transformation as they go. Less of the traditional news format, more things that can be digitized, more things that can be bite-sized, more things that can be viewed in a quick fashion. The look and feel will change. Most of the main anchors will be there. Jake Tapper and Anderson Cooper, who I mentioned already, just signed new contracts, but we're told to kind of make sure they understand that things are going to look a little different. People who have signed contracts, who are signing for a lot of them for less money, less guarantees, are out there as well. It'll be less of the breaking news coverage and the coverage from around the world, less standing around fires and less standing in war zones, less standing at school shootings, if you will. It is what is expected. Some cuts also coming to NBC News as well, expected to be today. We'll see if that happens as well. If this one happens, we're going to talk about it, and how much we talk about it is all on you. So if you want to engage in the story, whether it's for the pre-show, the pre-post here, or once we post it as an actual factuality, so you can engage in that one, just go to the headline while you view your links, your things in the feeds that we're doing. If you're on Facebook and the X already, while you're checking it out, see what we're doing, or see if we pop up natively in your feed. That's what all the likes and shares are about. If we're in your feed, they'll feed it up to you naturally. Otherwise, see what stories we're serving up about every 50 minutes in a batch going forward. Like it, love it, hate it, share it, read it, comment on it, engage in it. The higher score gets engaging, the better chance we have talking about it. Today, the 8 stories we talked about were 8 of the top 15 stories that were the high engagement scores from yesterday. So that's how it works. If you people, that's you people watching this thing, or people on the feeds, or just the general internet, because it hits it up pretty quick, want to talk about something, it gets high engagement numbers on Facebook and X. We look at them both and we compare them and see what ones to talk about. We'll give you the ones we think we should talk about. If you think we got the wrong ones, email me at the conversation inbox at gmail.com and we can fix that. One thing that we teased yesterday was the Silk Road pardon of Ross Ulbricht. You guys wanted in there. It wasn't a highly, to be honest, of baseball, talking baseball, wasn't a highly engaging story, but it wasn't a highly engaging story. It was within the range. It wasn't like a 1, 2, 3, but it was big enough. We teased it, and it went along with the narrative of Trump and pardons, and Trump doing things that are having people scratch their heads. Trump is all about this. Trump is all down with letting Ross off because free market capitalism, whatever, crypto. Many people are like, This guy set up bad things. What are we doing here? I guess we'll find out what we're doing here sooner or later. Let's talk about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Zenni Optical. We're going with Zenni Optical because it's all about eyes. Eyes are the windows to the soul and the way to see things in general. So if your eyes aren't doing so great, you probably need to get your glasses updated. I have a new eye appointment in about a month. So in about a month, I'll get my new prescription. Oddly enough, these glasses, 2 prescriptions behind. So eventually I have to actually up that thing so I can actually see a little better. And this may be the years I get progressives. When I get those progressives, I'm getting them from Zenni Optical, which will give me great glasses, regular lenses, glasses, and the progressives as well for a great cost. These frames cost $695 and have cost $695 for over a decade. They're simple, they're stylish, they work. The lenses, not cheap pieces of plastic. The lenses are great eyewear that'll give you whatever technology you're looking for, whether you need something that's going to block blue light, or you need something that's a sunglasses, regular prescription, or even progressives. They'll take good care of you. Shipping is easy. Shipping is fun. The whole process is just a blast. You can put your face inside the website and try on glasses virtually by putting the glasses on there. You don't have to spend any money and have them to send them back. It's there. Virtual try-on works. They have anti-reflective coatings, photochromic lenses, progressives. I already said progressives 3 times because I guess I'm stuck in that one. You have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like them, just send them back. They'll send you money back, period. It's not a trial period. It's what you want. If it's not what you want, send it back. Shop with confidence, not pay much more money. Go to our website link because it's an affiliate link for us. This is theconversationproject.com/Zenni. This is theconversationproject.com/Zenni for Zenni Optical. They'll take good care of you, your eyes, and your wallet, and our wallets, because as I said, a small commission from Zenni Optical costs you nothing extra, helps us get paid, helps us keep things going for the Conversation Project. We thank you in advance, and we'll be good stewards of your money here and in other ways. What other ways do you say? If you become a partner, you are directly funding what we have going on here at the Conversation Project. We will hype the partners up exclusively on the weekend. So Friday and Saturday shows, we do a lot of partner hype. So that's there. But right now, you can go to our website. This is theconversationproject.com and click a few links as I give you some calls to action. Visit more sponsors. Those will cost you nothing extra. You buy from the sponsor, we get an affiliate link cut from that one. Go to our partnership. There are various levels of partnerships to join on to help fund what we have going on here. And if you're on YouTube, click the member button, which is the same thing. Memberships are actually slightly cheaper than partnerships. Monthly contributions to what we do here at the Conversation Project. Also, one-time ways to give as well. You also can just peruse the website, see what we have going on, see what we've done in the past, which is really important, and understand how we got to be who we are by understanding how we got to be by seeing who we are. There's a listing on the About Us, how the Conversation Project came to be where it is. The one thing about that is I'm always sort of tweaking it because the story's, a little bit long and convoluted and kind of crazy how we got there. The broken road we got here was a bit of a travel log of back and forths. And so we're always trying to update it to make sure it sounds more legible while also being more truthful and getting engaging. So it's all that's there. Go to our website, learn about us, do all that stuff. Follow us on the feeds on Facebook and X so that you can engage in the stories and tell us what stories to talk about every single day. And email me with your comments, your complaints, your concerns, all the stuffs, all the things, all of it at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. Guess what? Thursday, the show is done. Thursday is just beginning because it's 6 a.m. Central Time as I say these words to you live going for the internet. When you watch this, it's all on to you. But the day is now fresh and new and going to happen. Hopefully you have a great Thursday plan for yourself. January 23rd, 2025 should be a big day. This is Trump Day number 4. For the third full day, and I'm sure there's a lot of Trump things happening. We'll be on the lookout for the CNN and NBC layoffs happening because they are expected. I'm sure it won't be covered by CNN, but someone will start dropping dimes on who's leaving, and we'll start seeing the X post and these Truth Social posts and the Blue Sky posts on people like, "Yep, final day at CNN, going freelance. Find me on whatever platform they want you to." Pay them for Patreon and whatnot. Well, of course, remember, we have our own Patreon, which is not Patreon, but Buy Me a Coffee, our own memberships. But if you go to our website, you can join or go to buymeacoffee.com/JClevelandPayne, and you can help fund the stuff here. We're almost at 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up now. I am Jay Cleveland Payne, about to press the button and get on out of here. Love you. Mean it. Let's do this again for Friday, shall we?